All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And, Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Peterson. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively. No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Ace.
1st down. Here's a run with Peterson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Riley Harrison. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now they try the right side here. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And that will force a turnover on downs. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
There we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90. Ace, ace.
From midfield, here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Slow. Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Mahomes going to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They pitch it out to Peterson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Mahomes now to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And out now come the Eagles. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the line.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on now. Oh, come on now. Let's go.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Come on now. Oh, come on now. Let's go.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Run. Black. Shorty.
Wentz now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing now is Wentz. Anderson a first down and more. Found his target. It's Anderson. And down to the 16-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Here's Muhammad. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
And now here comes Kansas City. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
"14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on 1st down.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Z. Here we go. Green 90.
On 1st down, Mahomes throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Z. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
final shot before the half from Mahomes. Being chased out left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime.
Lefty, lefty.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Flushed out right. Got some room at the 30. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So these two teams will head to the locker room as we hit halftime in Super Bowl 56. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this will be a touchback as that sails. Over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, a 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open, that's a good start for him.
Right back to him on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Wentz going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Returnable here from the 38. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On the carry, it's Muhammad. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses, imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll go on the ground. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now a run with Peterson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been long.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a handoff working right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Mahomes now on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They run with Peterson. He's been busy tonight. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. He's back to throw. They'll roll him out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. It's Hill, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs. You see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them. A fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.